and the lights are out, and away we go, and it's a pretty decent start. Lewis with an amazing start already up to P2 in this race, and it looks like in the P2 he goes, and he's going to knock the Haas almost off track. Sweet Crown 19 gets a fantastic start, though, and it's, look at this, ISRL Knight about to go 3 wide, running on the grass, trying to pass Infamous Pillars in P3, and he avoids Infamous Pillars. A little bit of contact looked like between Extra Rotation and Infamous Pillars, and Knight, even though he's not in P1, is showing up on there, and now it's updating a little bit still, but Lewis is in P2 right now. An amazing start by the McLaren driver. Sweet Crown 19 is leading the Canadian Grand Prix. Josh 2 in 4th position, Extra Rotation in 5th. It's still 6th position actually for Knight, so I thought he made out some progress, but unfortunately the timing sheet was just trying to figure out what was going on in the race. Wasn't doing too well of it, but the brakes already glowing hot on that that Red Bull car. As you can see, Infamous Pillars getting a good exit out of the hairpin. Already might try to challenge ISRL Knight coming into the chicane. We'll have to wait and see, but here comes Lewis already catching up to Sweet Crown 19, bringing down that gap that Sweet Crown created at the start. Blue flags are already waving for some reason. Feral Fury and Isaac Kush are battling down at the grid, and Feral
Fury going into he's going into the pits.
Does he have wing damage?
I think he might have taken a little bit of wing damage. I'm going to keep an eye on that.
He does.
Yeah,
it's very
he does have
little.
some wing damage.
It's just an end play. I don't know if you want to necessarily do that just on an end play, but nonetheless, Feral Fury already making an early pit stop. But Sweet Crown 19 leads this Canadian Grand Prix. ISRL Lewis in 2nd position, Duo in 3rd. Josh 2 falling a little bit further back in 4th with Extra Rotation right on his tail, and ISRL Knight also right on the tail of Extra Rotation. So the 4th through 6th, a pretty decent battle right now. A little bit further up is Duo trying to chase down Lewis, who got a fantastic start in this race, is up to P2, but Sweet Crown 19 leading it. But that's a 3-second time penalty as well for Lewis. And Isaac Kush, a big lockup into the hairpin, right still in the back of Yarno, who is now outside of a second to Knight. So he is not going to have DRS. Isaac will, but he's already side by side of him before the DRS straight. Now he opens the DRS. Doesn't have to use overtake in this situation. There's an easy pass on the AlphaTauri, and he moves up in the 8th position. We'll see if we see any crazy moves. We'll have to wait and see what happens. Chris has retired from the session.
Oh, that's a safety car.
So he crashed somewhere.
Safety car out. It looks like from what I can see on the mini-map, it looks like as if it might have been an incident in the Wall of Champions. I think he might have potentially hit the Wall of Champions and just the car shot out on the other side of the track. As looks like that's Chris's race over just like that. I'm gonna jump to Sweet Crown 19 in the meantime, and actually it looks like the car did disappear, so I wasn't able to see it.
Did despawn. Now we're under safety car. It's still raining. Sweet Crown 19 is gonna come into the pits. Now what tire does he put on?
Yeah, that's the big question of what is he going to do, and it looks like a lot of these drivers are coming into the pits. The top 3 are. Josh is staying out. And it looks like as if, nope, he's going on another set of drives.
Mediums.
Well, that's the thing, and I'm trying to keep an eye and
He is into the pits.
19 back into the pits.
Wow, this is big scenes right here. Sweet Crown 19 elects to do another pit stop because he thinks it's time for inters. And this has really thrown a wrench into his race. Not something he unless he made a mistake, but this is inter tires, and now he's going to be well down the grid.
Yeah, falling all the way down the order now, but thankfully for him, he's got a few other drivers who seemingly also made a similar mistake. Oh my goodness. And the leader, Josh, too, he's opted to stay out on those medium tires, too. And I'm riding on board with them, and I actually watched him, even under the safety car, get a little bit of a tank slapper.
Unfortunately, he's not going to have that kind of buffer that Sweet Crown had, because he's only down in 8th right now on the inters, but it's still going to be tough for Sweet Crown to make that progress in the rain. But nonetheless, there goes Josh, too, and that is something he is going to be very unhappy about, not making that pit stop when he did.
Just now going to be
what happened with Extra Rotation right there? He just went off track. The safety car restart has started. Extra Rotation had a moment in the chicane right there, and we are under green racing conditions. Extra Rotation now under pressure already from Infamous Pillars, who Extra Rotation had an off track. I don't know what happened, why he missed the chicane right there. So Fion now under pressure from ISRL Knight, who got a pretty good restart as well. Further down the pack, it's Gurman and Yarno, and Yarno, look at this, side by side with Lewis and Yarno. That was very, very close to be making contact. Infamous Pillars has a 3-second time penalty already, though.
Yeah, we'll see, but the gaps are still very, very close, so it's still anybody's race to take with the safety car restart. But crucially, DeWill already has a 1 second gap to second, which is extra rotation. So that's exactly the start DeWill was hoping for.
Look at this, Sweet Crown already challenging Knight now, almost on the inside of him, coming out of turn 2. So Sweet Crown already making major progress in this race, catching up to Knight, and that's how much of the speed difference between them. Knight looked for a, that could have been an inside move for Sweet Crown as he took a really wide line coming out of that turn.
Oh, and Sweet Crown actually had a bit of a tank slapper there, so he's going to lose out on a little bit of time to Knight, thankfully if you're Knight, but we'll see. That might only last you about a corner or two, given the pace Sweet Crown has, is already back up right behind that Red Bull car.
Could be interesting later on into this race. We got some side-by-side action. Look to be Isaac Kush trying to go on the inside. And look at this, Josh 2 side-by-side of Yarno coming into the first turn. Still side-by-side. Now the second turn. Hanging around the outside. Who's going to get better traction? It should be Yarno who gets better. Oh, Gurman's had a spin! And big blink damage for him. And that was not what he wanted to have happen in this race, and that's a yellow flag in Sector 1, but it's Gurman who has had a spin and major wing damage. That's going to be at the pit stop for him.
Yep, and this is where, if you're Sophion, I know this might not be the driver you're looking to battle, but might want to try to keep him behind you a little bit, maybe force the championship leader to make
same position he made on Knight, and here he goes, up in the P4.
Very nice move and nice braking by Sweet Crown to make the move stick up into 4th, and he's gonna have to now close this near 3 second gap to start battling for those podium positions. Yeah, thought about it there for a little bit, but Infamous Pillars had just a better exit out of the Wall of Champion chicane that he was able to make that move stick without even needing the DRS, as I figured has been disabled given the wet weather conditions we have currently. As there's a safety car now.
Who crashed?
I
think
I'm not too sure.
Is it Carter? What's going on with Carter? Now he's going quite slow.
Yeah,
he's still
like
good.
Everyone's going a little bit slow. I'm not too sure.
Somebody just came out. Somebody was in the. I think tried to go into the pit lane. I think it was Feral Fury, but I think he missed the pit lane, and as you can see, he's replacing. I'm not too sure what happened there.
Yeah, I'm not too sure what happened. I don't know if it was just one of those. The game.
I gotta be honest with you.
Raining. The only thing I can think of is the game saying, well, it's pouring rain.
You can't see anything right now.
Yeah, like like Canada 2011 vibes where,
this is
hopefully
insane.
we're not waiting for 4 hours.
It's a monsoon right now. Look how heavy it's raining. You can barely see anything in the distance. This is treacherous right now. But here we go. Duo gets back underway. Sweet Crown 19 behind him. And a really good restart for Sweet Crown 19 already on the back of Duo. Here we go. Green flag racing. And Isaac Kush has already made a move on Sophion. And here we go. Green, green, green. And Duo is in the lead of the Canadian Grand Prix, but barely as he's trying to struggle the car around in these rainy conditions. Has it lightened up a little bit? It looks a little bit more light than I remember. Maybe it was just the camera angle. Yeah, that might be it, because here we go. Look at the onboard shot right now of Sweet Crown 19 trying to follow Duwell. It's going to be very tough to make a reliable overtake anywhere concerning these conditions. Gurman has another 3 second time penalty for multiple warnings.
Yeah, so Yarno.
Oh, and it's a crash! Yarno into the wall. He's still alive, but that's some major wing damage on him.
Yeah, so a bit of a from here to 0 for Yarno, as not quite the back half of the race he was hoping for.
And look at this, Josh 2. No front wing.
I think there was a bit of an incident between probably
safety car deployed. Safety car has been deployed in this race, and this is going to be very, very interesting. Lewis has been disqualified.
Oh my goodness, sorry, I've been trying to catch a little bit. It seemed like as if Josh 2 might have just missed his braking point and ran into the back of Knight. Now, Lewis was disqualified, and I really don't know what he did. Now, let's just take the time, and I'm just going to take a peek at the race director to see if I can get any indication on what happened there. I'm just going to have to scroll through all of the warnings and the 3-second time penalties for corner cutting. Fortunately for Lewis, he received too many penalties, and he actually got disqualified. Now, what happened, which caused it, looks like he got a warning for exceeding track limits, multiple warnings as a 3-second, and he actually got one last warning for illegal time gained, which I believe was enough to provide the disqualification. So I think it was that last little illegal time gain that did it for him.
Anyway, Will is in the lead of the Canadian Grand Prix. Sweet Crown 19 is trying to chase him down, and he is 5/10 out of that position and did not get the restart like he did in the last session. Now you can see the rain is definitely a lot better than it was in the few laps ago, so maybe the intermediate tires are the tire to be on, but we'll have to wait and see. And he's not going to get the move done. One final straight to go. Oh, and Sweet Crown 19 gets a tank slapper. Now here comes Isaac Kush on the back of Sweet Crown 19. Is he going to have enough to make a move into the chicane? It's going to be very, very close. I don't think he's going to do it, though. But here comes Will across the line, and he is going to win the Canadian Grand Prix, barring any penalties. We'll have to wait and see across the line. And Will is going to win the Canadian Grand Prix, and that is his first win here in ISRL Esports. So Theon Giant is up to P3 with a podium. What an amazing showing for him in the Renault. Jadine will be very happy to get that result, and Isaac Kush down to 5th. That saves us some PG-13 interviews in the later part of the stream.
You know, I just want to say congratulations to him here on the stream for the win. But still a solid drive by Sweet Crown 19.
But no. This is the big problem. Still, the Crimson Chin is on the podium. Again, we will never escape Michael Schumacher. That's all I want to say. Anyway, you can continue on with your, still unfortunately. Let's go over the lineup one real quick. Is Will wins the race, Sweet Crown 19 in 2nd, Jadine in 3rd, Sophion in 4th, 5th for Isaac Kush, Jamie in 6th, 7th for extra rotation, 8th for Josh 2, Jordan in 9th position, ISRL Knight finishing in top 10, 11th for Carter, 12th for Feral Fury, 13th for ISRL Yarno, 14th for Gurman, 15th for our infamous Pillars, 16th for Chris. Disqualifying is Lewis in the race. So that was your Canadian Grand Prix.